Hi friends, this is Miss Larson and I'm going to teach you how to make chocolate chip scones. That's me. Put your hair up, make sure your hands are washed, and preheat the oven to 400 degrees. There are the ingredients. You can pause it if you want to read those. All right, so first we're going to start by mixing our dry ingredients. So flour, sugar, and I've pre-measured all of these, tablespoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna whisk it with my fork to make sure all the ingredients are mixed in. We want our leavening agent baking soda to be mixed thoroughly within all of our dry ingredients. All right, so now I'm gonna talk to you about how to cut in the butter into your flour. So this is the first option, my favorite, is I'm grating the frozen butter so it's already in small chunks and easier to mix into my flour, looking like that. The next option is to have your adult take a knife and cut the butter into small chunks. I goofed on this recipe and did not cut my butter chunks small enough, so you see me struggling on this baby cutting board as well. So make sure you use a big enough cutting board and cut your butter cubes smaller than I did so that it's easier for you to mix that into the flour. All right, now I'm gonna use my fork and I'm cutting in the butter into the flour. I'm making them smaller chunks so that all those little pieces of butter get coated in flour. So we want it to end up being a crumbly texture. So you see I got a little work ahead of myself because I cut my butter way too big. Once you've got your fine mixture, you're gonna measure out a cup of chocolate chips and add it to your flour and butter mixture. Go ahead and mix it with a spatula. And next is our liquid ingredients. So I'm taking 3/4 cup of milk and I'm gonna add my egg into it that I cracked into another bowl so I didn't get shell in it, and I whisked it up. Next, the most important part is you're gonna add your liquid to your dry ingredients and you're not gonna overmix. So we're gonna stir with our spatula until just combined. You are not going to knead your scones like you did the pizza dough. So it's okay if you still see some flour. I'm gonna lightly flour the counter now. I put a little too much. And I'm gonna dump my dough there and form it into a disc, also known as circle. And I put some flour on top because mine was really wet. You don't have to do that, but it made it easier to work with. So now I've got my disc and I'm going to use my knife to very carefully cut it into 8 wedges or slices. And it is a little bit wet, so just be careful. Don't doubt it, it's fine. Now I'm gonna take a spatula because it was easiest to scoop it up, and I'm gonna put it on my baking sheet that already has parchment paper on it so that our scones don't stick to the baking sheet. So put all 8 and space them out so there's a little bit of space in between all of them. Lastly, we're going to stick our scones in the oven by opening the oven door all the way using an oven mitt so you don't burn yourselves, and close it. We're gonna set our timer for 16 to 18 minutes is the timing, so I'm gonna put it at 16 and check it after that timer goes off. They were done after 16 minutes. They look nice and golden brown on top, so I'm gonna take them out and let them cool using both oven mitts. Again, opening the oven door all the way so you don't burn your little elbows. Enjoy your scones. Turn off the oven.